Warm greetings from the high 10. It is Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. I just want to chit chat with you guys for just a second. I want to send a shout out to my friend TG and Ikamel, people I've been talking to and cool with me, copacetic. And I want to address some things, just some things I just went over in my comment section on a video I had done pertaining to the Camille McKinney case. I don't talk about this case because naturally there hasn't been any new information. And with all the hype that went on over a month or so ago with the memes and all that, you all know, if many of you who've watched me and followed me from the beginning, you would know my demeanor, you would know what I stand for and what I stand against. And I don't indulge in pettiness and silly behavior because, you see, I've learned from dealing with this platform, social media in general, news stories. A lot of people like rhetoric. A lot of people like hype, negative rhetoric, that is. And I'm not going to stoop to that level of getting ignorant. Now, I give my opinion. Some like it, some don't. That's life. It's not going to be too much in life that people are going to agree with. It's just the way it goes. But I want to address some comments that I just went over that I missed. And I apologize to some of you if I didn't like, or I don't really want to apologize, but just say I didn't respond because I didn't get notifications at the time that you had given a comment. So I'm going back to commentary from the Bouncy House video that I had made a while ago. And some things started playing on my mind, comments that people had made that I just read just in the past couple of hours. And I think there's a lot to be said for some of the commentary, because remember something I've always told you guys is that the information, the truth, is always in front of you. It's just a matter of putting it together. And the information was there all along. You see, you can't have the truth about any case or any circumstance if it starts from a lie. And I think most of you who are grown and lucid and aware, you know this. Some of you, or one or two or three, whatever, made a comment about where the Bouncy House was, okay? Well, it was obvious from TG's pictures, if we are to believe that that is the place where a party took place or didn't. You saw children. You saw a grainy picture of a little girl that could have been Miss Cupcake. Because at one point, and I mean still I think that that was her in that photograph. The rumors of the mother arguing with a young lady on Facebook about that, the child being lost in the park. Why would someone be arguing about that? The fact that the young lady, or its mommy, never came forward to this day, and we're now in the month of February, in a new year. Miss Lady, you've never even came forward to say, I'm going to dispel all these rumors and rhetoric and speculations about the party, the bouncy house, no bouncy house. Why wouldn't you come forward at this point to tell the public, hey, I just want to let you guys know, I did have a party for my child on this day at Tom Brown or somewhere else. I rented a bouncy house, slide, whatever. And yes, I did see that child, her other son, whatever, that day. Didn't know them personally, but they were here while the slide was out here, in front of the house, side of the house, back of the house, at the park, on the moon. Y'all see where I'm going. So see, this is when you start to wonder what really is going on with these people down here in Birmingham. Because you have to ask yourself, why do you have so many different people who allegedly come from different walks of life? Possibly not. They all act the same. They mimic one another. All you people aren't even supposed to know each other, related, but yet your demeanor is the same. You have no truth in nothing. You won't even come forward with what you know and what you actually saw or participated in. So we have now still people in the comment sections on different people's channels still concerned about where the party actually took place. Did it take place at Tom Brown, or did it take place at a separate park, MLK Park, or a park farther up the road? No verification, which I think is odd. Even now, after TG releases the photos, nobody comes forward with a said statement with their government name on it saying, yes, I was there. I was here. I saw a bouncy house slide at Tom Brown and or Park. These children were there participating, whatever. So, no real account of a bouncy house slide at Tom Brown or Park. RS Mommy never comes forward with an account to say, yes, I rented a bouncy house and or I had it at a park and or I had it at Tom Brown. That's 2. The fact that someone made a comment and I just read it and it gives you something to ponder on. RS Mommy tells us that in her Facebook post, I packed up and I left. And somebody made a comment and said, Angela, don't you find that comment odd? And the more I think about it, it is odd. You packed up and went where? Ding. If you're having a party at Tom Brown where you allegedly live, why would you be packing up? Now, one could say she packed up the party itself because she had things outside, such as tables, chairs. Okay, we'll give her that because you remember we're not there, so we don't know. And we don't want to assume anything. But I find that comment very odd. I packed up and left. So one has to ask herself now months later, you packed up what exactly? You packed up outside Tom Brown? Party paraphernalia outside? And you went where? Where would you need to go if you're going back inside your apartment? Or did you actually have the party at a park? And you packed up and left the park and then returned home. Someone said something about a slide. Oh, there was a slide actually there at the apartment. Well, I don't know because once again, I wasn't there and we don't have verification of a slide, a small bouncy house, a big bouncy house. And as most of you have seen TG's photos, that's a very big bouncy house. And as I stated, I couldn't see or fathom that being on the Tom Brown property because it was so massive, you know. It's a massive size bouncy house. The mother will go on to claim that people are digging for things that aren't there and looking for things. No, it wasn't a matter of looking for any damn thing. Queen don't have to look for nothing. Most of us who are sane and lucid didn't have to go look for nothing. We went by what was told to the public. We went by the assortment of Facebook posts when the child first went missing. When all the rhetoric and gossip jumped off in the first place. You see. So people ran with whatever was said. People would post on different Facebook pages and discussion groups on what actually they heard, not seen. Not been able to verify, but just what they heard. So you see, it's not a matter of going looking for anything. People may be going to look now because they're intrigued by the story. It is a mesmerizing story. It is an intriguing story. It is a sensational story. It's about a young black baby that goes missing when allegedly there was a party going on and on and witnesses, but yet nobody's there when that child and another child are playing and they're alone, you see. So you can't question anything that went on October 12th and say people looking and searching. We didn't have to go look. You gave it to us on a silver platter because you weren't doing what you're supposed to have been doing that day. And that's not the public's fault. That's a you problem, a you fault. It has nothing to do with us. YouTube or no YouTube, the child still would have gone missing. The child still would have ended up deceased. That has nothing to do with YouTube. That has nothing to do with discussion groups. It has nothing to do with Facebook. It's about responsibility. And I didn't really want to say anything because I didn't want to hype up any more rhetoric, but this is my channel and I say what I want because I'm grown. And anybody that knows me well, not YouTubers, YouTube commenters, people who know me personally know how I get down. And they know I don't back down from nothing and I'm not easily intimidated. But I'm addressing comments made in my comment section. There's something that's amiss. And I get it. And I understand some of you all will quit back and jump on other videos I make because you're still questioning what happened. And I don't know and I don't have the answer. I wish I could give you the answer, but I don't have it. But I do know that this child's disappearance started with a lie and that you'll never get the truth to what transpired on October 12th. And that's my personal opinion. So much, as I just stated, No verification of where the bouncy house was. You never hear the girl who went live that night, when they were looking for the child. And the report had obviously went in about the child's disappearance. You didn't hear her talk about a bouncy house. RS mommy never spoke of a bouncy house in her Facebook posts. Just that she didn't know anybody there. She just moved there. So as I stated, don't you find it odd? She says, I packed up and left. That would make a person think she didn't live there. Because I thought that once. I said, oh, she must don't live there, the girl. Well, why would a girl have a party in the projects and don't live there? And then all of a sudden, 2 months, here comes this picture of a bouncy house. And that led some of us to think that the party was at somewhere else. So you see, you always have to listen to what people say. Because you always remember when people spin webs, tell a story, can't take it back once you said it. So where was the party? Why will no one come forward to verify if the party was at Tom Brown with a bouncy house, slide, playhouse, whatever you want to call it? Verify that it was at the property of Tom Brown or if it was at a park. You know, and the rumors circulating about the little girl being lost beforehand is baffling to me. And I have not yet addressed that. Because I let things simmer down with all the little cute little memes that was put up of me and TG. Ain't nobody scared of none of that boo. That don't mean nothing to me. But I'm going to address it now. What is really going on? What is really going on? Because it's sad. This bouncy house issue, party issue, the little girl being lost. Was she lost? Because see, now when I think back to TG's information, me bringing my videos thereafter that brought a lot of hype, which, you know, I don't care. Because the truth should be out, should be known. When the young lady went live that night, and I told you all I couldn't upload the video because it was in a discussion group and it was private, so I couldn't get it out of that group or to bring it to you. But it does exist. It is real. 1 hour and 39 minutes of the young lady going live that I know of. Her and April quipping back about her going live, which is her business, her phone. That made me think back to why she was bickering with the other young lady on Facebook. And it made sense. Other people have said the same. It does make sense, Big Ange. She was hoping you all would never find that out about that girl going live and the baby going missing in the park. And see, that's the reason why she didn't want to give the little girl's name to that young lady to give to the discussion group that she was going live with, because she knew her daughter had been lost earlier in the park. And I want to believe that only because her not wanting to give her name to the police and this girl and neighbors. Why not? Your child is missing. You're trying to find your child, but you're too busy arguing, wasting an hour or more, 2 hours with this young lady about a phone situation and who she's going live with when you should be looking for your daughter. Why did you keep staying around her? I don't understand that. But yet you feel like people are teasing you and making fun of you and poking at you. You did this. You did all of this. And yet even now, act like it's nothing. It's no big deal. And so that leads me back to that. I believe that child, Miss Camille McKinney, was lost in the park, at some park. Don't have the verification name of that park. Like I said, which I find odd. She was lost. They say the police brought the child back to April. I believe that. And the reason why I believe that is because of the live footage of the girl going live on her phone later on that night, and April would not get away from that girl going live. And you have to admit that's very suspicious behavior. That property is probably big as God knows what, over 200 something residents. Why are you in that girl's face? Why are you in the perimeter where she is? Okay, perhaps the child got missing behind that said building where that girl lived, but still, cross the street. Why didn't you cross the street? Why didn't you stand near the police or somebody else? Why are you right there? where she's going live and worrying about what she's talking about and what she's reporting and this and that. I just kept thinking to myself, what am I missing? And it makes sense now. You're standing there because you want to make sure nothing is said about that little girl to the people listening to that woman going live. Because you know you were in a public place and your child got missing earlier. And I believe that. I believe that in all my being that Camille McKinney got lost earlier in a said park in Birmingham, Alabama. And later that night, or evening at some point, she returns back to Tom Brown and she gets kidnapped by these two villains. And it's baffling to me that a child could go missing earlier and it looks like her in those photos, but no hair bows. And I will go on record and say that because I've never said it to you guys. I've said it in comment and live on TG's channel, but I've never said it out my own mouth to you guys in a live video. So I'm saying it to you all right now. I believe that is Cupcake in those photos that TG uploaded. But she's missing hair bows. And you can see the little green jacket and the pink shirt underneath. I believe that was she in that video. That grainy video, yes. Picture, excuse me. And I believe she got lost in a park. Which park, I do not know. And this is where many of us have the problem. I don't talk about this case much because, as I state, there's no update. And I'm not using my platform to discuss a case that doesn't have any new information. Because basically, you're just beating a dead horse. But this is what was on my mind. Some of you guys' questions, I wanted to acknowledge them because I felt like there were things that I've also thought about, but I just never stated it, out loud to you guys in a video. So I'm stating it. I find it odd that the child was allegedly missing earlier that day. Then we found a live feed 2 months later of the mother not wanting to give the child's name to the police and or the neighbors so they could help get the word out to the community. I find it odd that RS Mommy has never come forward to verify where the Bouncy house was that day, that night. If she actually had it on the property and or did she have it at another said public place, a party. And why there were never pictures of that birthday party. You all have asked that. Of all the rhetoric and gossip and rumors that stirred up about this baby, why were there never any photos of a birthday party? To this day, we never even got verification of who the party was for. And why she hasn't been seen or heard from. That's odd as well. Rumors were that she left, packed up, moved. No one ever saw her again. Excuse me, sinuses. After the child disappeared. Why would you leave? Why would you move if that is true? What would you have to hide? You didn't have anything to do with the crime. You just moved there, so obviously you need a place to live. That's weird to me. If that is true. So you see, as I say, you don't know what is truth. You don't know what is not. But one thing I do know of October 12th is that a precious child went missing and obviously was not watched because that was verified in the live feed from the young lady that no one ever watched their children over there in that Tom Brown development. That the children ran amok and were never watched. And they knew that that would happen. She knew that that would happen one day. Something bad would happen to a child. And just so happened, it did happen to Miss Camille McKinney. You question about the other child. Why not her? I don't know. People are sick. People are ill. Pedophiles, rapists, they have preferences. I know that sounds cruel and sickening, but I think we all know that. She fancied something about that child that night. That was a child that they wanted, and they left the other one behind. Some of you still think the parents are involved. As I stated, I do not know what their involvement is, but one thing I can say for sure, April Thomas' involvement starts with not watching her. And if it is factual that the child was lost in the park earlier in another park, that shows straight neglect. And she did not care. Some of you have been baffled by the posts and things you've seen on social media with them, with the mother mainly. Pictures and uploads of this and that. And as I tell you all, I don't go over there looking because I ain't lost nothing over there on her page. I don't care to indulge in that. And each person is entitled to their opinion. And I don't expect a person to grieve forever. But I think there's a time and place for everything. And I think everything does not need to be seen by the public eye. And that is pertaining to life in general, whether a child was murdered or not. I just think some things don't need to be advertised on social media, whether it's involving a death or when everything is all and well. People talk too much on social media. People show too much on social media. And that's why people are talked about so terribly on social media when there is no death. It's because you show too much, you talk too much. You show everything. You got to talk about everything in a post. You got to tell all your feelings, how you feel about this, how you feel about your kid. And that's another thing that leads me to something that was said also about this chick. Who goes to Facebook to talk about their son being needy? And I'd ask somebody, well, what was the post about? Because, like I told you, I don't go over there looking. They were saying, oh, she was wanting to go out for that night or something. And she was saying her son was acting clingy. You see, it's those little things like that that show me her character and what she's made of. What type of person would even say some junk like that when, one, your child just was found in a dumpster. Two, you have another child to rear. And you're going to say he's clingy. It doesn't matter what the circumstance is. First and foremost, you're his mother. I'm not talking about a 16, 17-year-old hanging on a mother by the ankle. You're his mother first and foremost. So he can be clingy. Two, he just lost his sister. Three, he hears things as well. The idle gossip, the rumors, the rhetoric, and no telling what else he's seeing behind closed doors that we are not privy to. So that was wrong and foul to even say anything about him in a Facebook post. See, these are the things I'm talking about. Things that should be quiet. Things that should be in the cut. No knowledge, no nothing. The public should not have no information about. But then yet, she goes and posts these things and then gets mad when somebody says anything she don't like. But yet you're the one giving the people the information even after the child is deceased. So whose fault is that? You see, this is why I have an issue with her. Because she doesn't care. I see it now plain as day. You didn't care then when the little girl was living. You didn't care even after death. Because you're talking, saying ugly things about your own child being clingy. You don't say things like that to the public. You're giving people stuff to talk about and dissect. And to me, that means you like it. Because you see, you can't complain about social media. I don't care who you are. If you're giving the people something to talk about, something to gossip about, something to go run and share and spread, chop up, dissect. Think before you talk. That's all I got for today. But just letting you all know those were my thoughts. And I'm going to say this to you and I'm going to be frank with you. You will never get the truth of October 12th pertaining to Camille McKinney. Because you see, the child's disappearance, started with a lie. And it's going to end with a lie. Two villains arrested, DNA, they've turned on each other. So you're never going to get the truth about what actually happened with the child once she left Tom Brown property. And you ain't going to get the truth of how she actually got missing, who was watching her, because nobody wants to tell the truth. So everything is just a lie. And no matter what the verdict will be on those two suspects, it'll still be a lie because they're not telling the truth. And they'll never tell the truth. And they'll sell their soul to the devil, which they've already done that. And we'll never get the truth to how the child got missing in the first place. And as I tell you, there always has to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if you are woke, you'll see there's no truth to this scenario with this baby. Never has been. Idle speculation, gossip, rumor, rhetoric. Only truth is Camille McKinney is no longer living. God rest her soul. Thanks for watching. Like and share. Drop your comments below. And this is Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks.